Hey everyone, welcome back to the Post College Academy. My name again is Jack Tiernan and I'll be your host for this week's content. What I wanted to focus on this week is regarding what you should be doing during your unemployment period after college, assuming you don't get a job right away. Believe it or not, you do have a full-time commitment, and whether or not you choose to make that 40 hours is up to you. But what I mean by that is your commitment is to yourself and making yourself more marketable to potential employers. So that doesn't mean you need to work again 40 hours a week scouring LinkedIn or Indeed for different jobs that might fit you or just to get a job. What it does mean is that you need to find a way to make yourself more marketable, whether or not that comes from getting certifications, actually scouring LinkedIn or Indeed for jobs, or maybe bolstering your resume or LinkedIn profile through some professional services, right? There are a number of ways that you can go on and make yourself more marketable for these potential employers. So let's start with some certifications that you could get that would make you stand out to some employers. If I was being honest with myself, something I've been telling myself to do for probably since I entered the workforce is getting some sort of SQL certification or any coding certification for that matter. There are different coding languages that will be relevant to different jobs out in the working world. But for myself personally, I understand, and as should you, that the world is moving towards a digital atmosphere, especially with COVID taking over right now. Everyone is working from home, or if not everyone, most people, especially in the corporate world, are working from home because it's not a necessity. We can do the majority of our jobs from our house. By getting this certification and putting it on your resume or on your LinkedIn profile, you're able to say, hey, look at me, guys. I'm really out here actively trying to promote myself. I'm going to bolster my skills no matter what it takes, especially while I have this downtime. Again, you don't technically have any commitments right now except to marketing yourself, right? So what better way to do that than get some certifications? A certification, more concrete than a coding course, something like a PMP, for example, which is for project management, would be great down the line, especially when you're looking for maybe associate project manager jobs. That's something that allows you to have something that's concrete and says, hey, look, I passed this well regarded exam that allows me to come into the workforce and have a legitimate, actionable skill set. Something that's great about these courses for coding or PMP or any other sort of certification out there is that you're really able to differentiate yourself from other people coming from college. I'll tell you right now, a lot of kids aren't out there looking at their PMP or taking coding courses after they just gone through 4 years of college. This is something that will really differentiate you and can make yourself look really good on your resume or to recruiters as well. Something you might not think about is while you're doing this is you're keeping your brain in the on mode. After you graduate college and don't necessarily get a job right away in your field, your brain will start to slow down a little bit because there's not as much actionable stuff going on up there. No offense, it happens to everyone, myself included right now. I have to do something to stimulate myself. So what I do personally is I'll go out for a walk or I'll go on a run or something just to keep my mental health in check. But what's cool about taking these courses is it activates a different part of the brain as well. So while going for a walk and clear my head and help me de-stress a little bit, going back in and taking some of these courses or certifications is going to allow that part of my brain to switch back on and say, okay, like we're not done just yet. I'm not totally fried. My brain isn't acting like a couch potato. Basically, I'm not ready to just throw in the towel just yet. I mentioned it earlier, but think about a recruiter looking at your resume when you've just graduated college and you have no certifications to show. If you have even just one certification on there within the last 3 or so months, it shows that you've been working during this time. They have a good understanding of how impossible it is to get jobs right now. They're the ones that are out there hiring people, right? So if they aren't hiring a lot of people and then you have a resume that comes across their table that says, hey, I had got my PMP and I learned how to code SQL over the last 3 months, that's incredibly impressive. That shows a go-get-'em attitude, and they're going to want someone like that on their team. Listen, guys, that's all I've got for today. I wanted to keep this content short and sweet. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me on LinkedIn. My link is on my channel page. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll be back with new content for you next week. Thanks so much. Always keep learning.